Hi, this is Roger. Thanks for dropping by. I was expecting that to be open by today. Well, it's working on it. It's working on it. And two others to go. It's difficult to work out what on earth that's going to look like. You know, I don't think I've ever seen a cattleya open like that before. I hope it's not going to be deformed. Anyway, this is a short video to just say thanks for everybody who tried out the voting system on the video I put up on the orchids proposed to be sent to the Orchid Society's virtual competition for this month. That was the idea. And it tried out some new software, you know, a vote where you could click on something and see the options and stuff. And I could see the results, more importantly. I also put the now on the video we had 5 choices, but I decided at the end of the day that this, as a plant and as a blooming, was not the sort of thing that would do well. Let's put it that way. I know the sort of things that do well, and like if I zoom in there, that could make a brilliant picture. But without some form of view of the plant, it wouldn't do well. And as soon as I start including the plant, we start getting these manky leaves, which I've had for ages. You know, I live with it. The new ones are okay, but so I decided not to include that. So on the Facebook page, I just included the 4, which was the Senili, the Lindleyi, the Hercoglossum, and the other one. What the hell was the? Oh, the apple blossom. Duh. And people left comments to vote on the Facebook page. I've had to go through and add them all up. But at the end of the day, the vote on the video came out with Lindleyi on top, closely followed by Senili. The votes all added up together via the comments on the Facebook group came up with Lindleyi on top, closely followed by Senili. Now, when I did the original video, I said I would probably ignore everything that you do. But either way, whether I've ignored what you chose, or what was a close second, or in fact what was the third, the apple blossom, which for that particular hybrid, 6 blooms on a spike is pretty good stuff. But I couldn't get a picture of all 6. So from a judging point of view, you've got to look at the facts. The Dendrobium hercoglossum is a specimen plant, but I cannot get a decent picture of the whole thing. It would have to be there. You'd have to be able to go up to it, pick it up, look at it, yeah? And do all that sort of thing, and look at the new growth starting and previous year's growths. Now, from that point of view, that would be the one. But I can't do it in a photo. I can't get a good shot. I can get some smashing blooms, you know, but it doesn't represent what the whole thing. Senili, this is with the judging thoughts on now. Senili is not an easy plant to grow and bloom. Both. Tell me about it. Many good people have tried and failed. So to keep this going and to get a good blooming is pretty good stuff. Now, with a judge's hat on, a judge I am not, but I have their thought processes. I've interrogated them. Over the years, I've got snippets of information from each one I know to gather together the sort of thing I know they're looking for. And they will look at that blooming against the type of plant, how difficult it is to grow, and it would probably do well. The Lindleyi took an absolutely brilliant photo, didn't it? I mean, that was a smashing shot. Whole plant, nice blooming, but with the judge hat on, it's a young plant. And as that plant goes, that's not that spectacular, despite taking a brilliant photo. Do you realise this is going over already? You just noticed that. God, there's another one that doesn't last long. Yeah, so up here you've got a good spike for that hybrid, very good, 6 blooms, excellent, but I can't get that good a photo of it. I can only, at my best, I can get 4 in the shot, but then they're all at an angle. So I can't get a good photo of it. This one here, specimen plant, but I can't get a good photo of it. This one, difficult to grow, good blooming, and not a bad photo, quite honestly. And this one, brilliant photo, but a young plant. So those are the thoughts. And which one have I chosen? I'm not going to tell you. I've just sent the email with the attachment of the one. And the deadline was the 15th, which is soon. Today's Friday. That means it's Wednesday today. Not that I even need to know that. When you're in this sort of situation, when you don't go anywhere and you don't see anyone, does it matter what the date is or what the day is? Yes and no. Obviously that email had to be sent. So the email and the associated picture, singular, one off, a little bit annoying. I liked it last month. 2 plants each, just like the day, just like at the meeting, you're allowed 2 plants. And 2 pictures, one of the plant and one of close-up of the blooms, representing the judge's ability to walk up to the plant and have a good look at it. I thought that was good. But the poor guy who volunteered to do it did not expect the workload. If you think about it, that's an average of 2 to 4 pictures per person per email that all have to be sorted. The pictures have to be extracted from the emails, put into some other form with the names against them, the class they're entered in. That all has to be got to the judges. The judges have to deal with it. It all has to be got to the guy who does the newsletter. That's too much to ask somebody to do who is a volunteer. Now, I volunteered to do it, and for me that would have been an easy job. But nonetheless, they've decided that 1 plant and 1 picture. You choose whether you want the whole plant or a close-up of the blooms. That's your choice. But the judges are only going to judge the blooming of the plant. So whether you choose to take the whole plant or just the blooms, debatable. Because even though they're only judging the blooming, if you show them the whole plant with all the blooms, they've got more to work with and more to go on. And there's going to be lots of people just sticking a picture in, not even giving this any thought. Anyway, so I'm not going to tell you which one I've put in, and you're going to have quite a wait, because the newsletter with the results of the competition will come out at the end of the month. It should coincide with the date the meeting would have been, which in theory is the last Friday of the month. So, like me, you're going to have to wait and see. But I'm not going to tell you which one I submitted. And if I don't win anything, you may never know. But obviously there's only a first, second and third in each class. I'm in a particular class. I will have to mention, I got first in that class last month, and third, come to think of it, but I got first. That's important. If I got a first again this month, I've got to seriously consider whether I put any more in the competition or not. Because if I get a third first in a season, I'll get pushed into the experience class. And in amongst the sort of plants that are in that class, I might not do anywhere near as well. But at some point I'm going to have to go there, I presume, so we shall see. Anyway, so that's the state of play. Only 4 were considered, finally. And out of those 4, you've seen the pictures, you've had your chance to have your say. Lindley just about crept in front of Senilli. Apple Blossom was down the way a bit, and Hercoglossum didn't get much of a look in, even though, personally speaking, it's the best plant. Not by a little bit, by quite a lot, for various reasons. But I can't get a decent picture of it. And without a decent picture, how can I enter it into a virtual competition? If I could do a video, that would be a different thing, wouldn't it? But I can't. Anyway, so that's the state of play. I will let you know when I know, but you're not going to know which one I put in until the final say. You might be able to take a guess from the words in this video. There could be hints in there that were unintentional, but I did sort of stick my judging knowledge on, even though I'm not a qualified judge, as to what they're going to be looking at and what they're going to be thinking. And it will depend which one or two judges actually do the job. Because I also know with the ones that are available to do this job, they do have differences. And there's one that has a distinct bias. That's just the way it is. I mean, at the end of the day, can you step back that far that your personal preferences can be totally excluded? I'm not sure I'd be able to do that. Anyway, we shall see. So it's coming up to tea time now, is it? Yes, 5:15, nearly tea time. And I've got an unusual meal today. I had my home shop delivered last night. God, that was that expensive. I took advantage of finally getting a home delivery to get everything I can't get locally delivered. Even if I didn't need it, I will at some point. And so it was very expensive and took an absolute age to pack away. And the freezer now, if you open the door, it all falls out. It's so full. But there was a meal included there that was virtually half price. And although it's a ready meal, I don't normally do that. I like to cook. But this ready meal I've had before. When I was doing some shopping, I just noticed it at such a reasonable price. I thought, well, that can't be bad. And it's a Chinese meal that incorporates a curry. So it's got 4 portions of different items in it, and it's just a microwave job. But last time I tried it, I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I've got a ready meal tonight. There's a novelty. So that's going to take about 10 minutes to get ready and dump on a plate. So I'm not in any rush to get my tea at the moment. And I will see you next time. Next time, tomorrow, is going to be a repotting in the kitchen. And although there's one obvious one from the unboxing I've just done, while I'm out there making a mess, I've got some others to do. So I will not just be repotting one, I will be sorting out, I won't say repotting specifically, several. So we'll have a kitchen session tomorrow. We haven't had one of them for a while, have we? So I've got a feeling earlier in the year I said there won't be any more, but there are some. There are a few repots to do and some other bits and pieces to sort out. So we'll have a kitchen session tomorrow after I've finished my watering. Get back to normality. Watering first, get that done. And then in the afternoon, we do some things in the kitchen. So back to normal, even if I can't go out much. At the moment, I could, if I wanted, pack my stuff up in the car, cameras, walking boots, stuff, and head off to a particular site where there's some native orchids and perhaps some butterflies, and have a day out. And it would be perfectly acceptable. I'd be well away from other people. I've always said if I take one of my walks, if I can see somebody in my binoculars, they're too damn close. So I'm that way inclined. But so that wouldn't be a problem. And that is now allowable as from today. So because nothing's happened this year in those lines, I may do a field trip. It's just a matter of deciding where, and I don't want to go too far. The thought of actually the car packing up or something stupid like that or having an accident, I just don't want to think about it. I'd like to think that I can go to a site that if the car breaks down I can turn around and walk home, but that wouldn't offer me many choices, let's put it that way. I could go and get some moss. Anyway, I will think about that, but I would love to just do a field trip, actually pack some food away, pack up the camera gear and the extra lenses and get me walking boots out and just go somewhere and spend a day out somewhere. Now at the moment the temperatures are down and there's a breeze, so anywhere on the coastline, which I like, would be pretty nippy. And I can't stand wearing a coat. So we might wait a few days till it warms up a bit. It's a thought, and it may take place. I'd have to be selective where I choose to go, but we shall see. I think a field trip's coming soon, and we'll see where we go. You'll also be pleased. This is actually, no, I'm not going to say that because some people will disagree. So I'll leave it at that, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for dropping by.